Hi, thanks for using My Court Coach. I'm Sarah, and I'll be your instructor today as we talk about the request to waive court fees. That's Form FW-001, as well as the order on the court fee waiver. That's Form FW-003. You would use these forms if you cannot afford the filing fees that the court charges. You can ask the court to either waive all or part of the fees or to set up a payment plan. You want to start off by filling in the court location information at the top. Then here you're going to list your name, address, and phone number. If you have a case number, you can go ahead and list it here in a case name. If this is the first time you're filing an action, then the court clerk will fill in the case number and case name for you. If you have a job, you want to list it under item 2, your job title, name of employer, and employer's address. If you don't, then leave that blank. If you have an attorney, go ahead and have them fill in that information in 3, the name of attorney, phone number, address, and state bar number. And then you need to indicate if the attorney has agreed to advance all or a portion of your fees or cost, yes or no. And then the attorney needs to sign as well. I will say that if you have an attorney that is not advancing fees for you, it's probably unlikely you're going to get a fee waiver. The court kind of assumes if you can afford an attorney, you can afford the fees. But if you do have one that's willing to advance fees for you, then the court will take that into consideration as part of your request. Next, in item number 4, you need to indicate what fees you're asking to be waived. Because this is family law, you want to indicate superior court. And then 5, ask why you're asking the court to waive fees. If you receive any sort of government assistance, then you need to identify what type of government assistance in item number 5. And then you're pretty much done with this form. You just fill in your name at the bottom, sign, and date. On the other hand, if it's because the gross monthly household income is less than these amounts that are listed below, then you will need to fill in items 7, 8, and 9 on page 2 of this form. Keep in mind that the amounts listed will be relative to the members of the family. So if there's 4 members in your family, the maximum household income for the court to consider your fee waiver would be $27, $29, $17 a month. If it's that you exceed these thresholds here, but you still just don't have enough money to pay for your household's basic needs and the court fees, then you need to check one of these options below and fill out the entirety of page 2. And these options are to either waive all court fees and costs, to let you make payments, or to waive some of the court fees. If you've asked the court to waive your court fees for this case in the last 6 months, mark item 6. And if you have a copy of that request, go ahead and attach it to this form and check here. And again, fill in your name at the bottom, sign, and date. Page 2, again, you only need to fill out if you've checked something other than 5A on page 1. 7, 8, and 9 are if you've checked 5B. If you've checked 5C, you need to fill out the entirety of this form. And for our purposes, I'll go over the entirety of the form. If your income varies month to month, then check box 7, and that lets the court know you're just going to average it out for the past 12 months. Item 8, you're going to list your gross monthly income from all sources. That's not just wages, but also support payments, retirement payments, unemployment compensation, interest payments, whatever it is. There's a big definition here. You can see if you fall under that. But all income from any source must be listed here. So you want to list the source in the first line and then the amount received from that source, and then total up all the categories, and then that'll give you your total monthly income. Item number 9 is asking for the total household income. So for every person that is living in the house, you need to state their name, age, relationship to you, and their gross monthly income. And again, total up what that is at the bottom. And by the way, if any of these lines on this form are not enough, you can always attach another sheet of paper to this. So then you want to total up at the bottom the total monthly income and the total household income, and then list it at this bottom line. Item 10 is asking about your money and property. So you need to list all cash you have on hand, every single bank account, the amount, the balance in that account, every vehicle, its fair market value, how much is owed on it. For real property, fair market value, how much is owed on it, and any other assets, you want to describe those, list the fair market value, and if there's money owed on it, list what that is. Item 11 is going to ask about your deductions and expenses. If you have payroll deductions, you're going to list what those deductions are for and the amount that's being deducted. For instance, if you have a payroll deduction for a 401k plan, you would list 401k and then the amount that's actually being deducted from your pay, or for health insurance, for instance. Next, you want to list what you pay for your house payment. Below that, food and household supplies. Below that, utilities and telephone. Below that, clothing. Then laundry and cleaning, medical and dental expenses, insurance other than health insurance goes here. School, health, childcare, and child support or spousal support being paid to a different relationship goes in J. Any transportation, gas, auto repair insurance goes in K. Any sort of installment payments that's going to be revolving debts such as auto loans, credit card payments, you're going to state who you're paying and the amount that's being paid every month on average. And then if there's any garnishments you have, wages, earnings that are withheld by court order, list that in M. Any other monthly expenses that are not included up here, you want to list who you're paying that to and how much. And then you want to total up all these lines, and that gives you your total monthly expenses. And that completes this form. You want to submit this to the court with the FW-003. That's the order on court fee waiver. You only need to fill in items 1 through 3. So you're going to start off listing your name, address, and then if you have a lawyer, list that in item 2, and then you're going to state the date you're filing your request to waive court fees, and mark if you've previously had a fee waiver made in this case, fill in the court information, and if you have a case number, fill it in here, and that is it for this form. The court is going to fill out the rest of the form, which is going to indicate if they are granting your request or not. So having said that, these 2 forms are now ready to submit. Good luck. I hope you found this helpful.